Hello friends, this video on improvement in food resources part 9 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Let us now talk about the cropping patterns. So the first thing which we did for crop production improvement was application of nutrients, that is nutrient management in the form of manure and fertilizers. The next thing which we did was irrigation. Now the third thing which we will do is the cropping patterns. That means there are a certain set of patterns, or there are certain specific ways in which if you plant crops you will get better results. So let us talk about some of those specific cropping patterns. So different cropping patterns can be adopted for better results. Some of the cropping patterns like mixed cropping, intercropping and crop rotation. So these are some of the cropping patterns which results in better yield. So let us see what is mixed cropping. Growing multiple crops on same piece of land. The term mixed itself says that it is mixture of something. So mixed cropping means a mixture of crops. That means a variety of crops, different varieties of crops are grown on the same piece of land. Look at this example. Here you can see that both barley and wheat. Here you can see these are wheat, and here you can see these are barley. So both barley and wheat are grown together in the land. So not only here I have shown you the example of barley and wheat, not only barley and wheat but any other combination like wheat and gram together, or groundnut and sunflower together. So two crops grown together on the same piece of land, that is known as mixed cropping. Now how do you think mixed cropping will help in crop production management? So its advantage is that it gives insurance against failure of one of the crops. Now let us suppose if we have planted both barley and wheat, and let us suppose the wheat plants failed. That means the wheat plants did not get proper nutrients, or it got some disease and it is gone. But at least you will have a backup of the barley, because had it been only a monoculture of wheat, in that case if wheat crops failed that season, then you will have nothing which you could cultivate in that season. But at least if it is mixed cropping, if one of the crops failed also, there are other crops which can be a success, right? So here you get a backup. Next is intercropping. So in intercropping, growing multiple crops on same field in a specific pattern. So in mixed cropping, it was like on the same piece of land, somewhere you have wheat, somewhere you have barley. But when we talk of intercropping, you will arrange the wheat plants in a specific pattern. Again, you will arrange the barley in a specific pattern. So a specific pattern has to be followed. Crops to be chosen such that their nutrient requirements are different. So why do you think we need to choose such crops whose nutrient requirements are different? That's because if we choose two crops which have the same nutrient requirements, then they both will start fighting amongst each other to get the nutrients from the soil. So competition will arise, and as a result they will not be able to grow healthy enough. So that is why we have to choose crops whose nutrient requirements are different. Maybe one crop needs more of phosphorus, the other crop needs more of nitrogen. So they will have different requirements, so their requirements can be fulfilled as well. So let us look at an example. So here you can see that in this field you have coconut trees as well as you have the marigold plants. So you can see here that even here you have both coconut trees and marigold plant, but here the coconut trees are arranged in a specific pattern. They are arranged in specific rows, right? So these kind of specific patterns are known as intercropping. Or similarly, or maybe you can have, let us suppose you have soybean and maize. So you have one row of soybean, again you have one row of maize, again you have one row of soybean, again you have one row of maize. So this is how intercropping is done. What are the advantages of intercropping? Here, maximum utilization of nutrients. That's because you have planted multiple crops who have multiple different requirements. So each of them will get their own requirements, and as a result, the nutrients which are present in the soil will all be utilized. For example, if you have a monoculture of wheat, and suppose wheat needs some specific nutrients, some 4-5 nutrients. So only those 4-5 nutrients will be utilized from the soil. But if you have an intercropping of wheat and maize, or maize and soybean. In that case, maize has its own requirement of nutrients, soybean has its own set of other requirements. So both of them will derive the nutrients from the soil. So maximum utilization of nutrients will take place. Prevent spreading of pests and disease. How? Because since there are two different plants with different nutrient requirements, therefore the diseases which happen in them will also be different. It is not, because suppose if you have a wheat monoculture, if some of the wheat plants got a disease, it will spread to all the wheat plants. But in case of intercropping, it is not like that. Let us suppose if some diseases have spread to these marigold plants, that doesn't mean that the same disease will spread to the coconut plant as well, right? Because they have different requirements, different properties. So it prevents the spreading of pests and diseases. And the last technique, that is crop rotation. Growing different crops on a piece of land in a pre-planned succession. That means here also we will grow different crops on the same land, but now we will not grow them together. One plant is grown first. Once that is grown, then we go some other plant. Now there also the choice needs to be made very wisely. Availability of moisture and irrigation facilities decide the choice of the crop to be cultivated after one harvest. So it depends on the climatic condition as well as the irrigation facilities which are present, that which crop we need to cultivate. Let us look at this example. Let us take the example of cotton and peanuts. Now cotton are the crops which actually depletes the soil. That means it takes away the layer of soil. That is called soil depletion. So cotton depletes the layer of soil, whereas peanuts or peas, they enrich the soil. So that means, let us suppose if we plant cotton for some time, so what will happen? The soil will get completely depleted. Immediately after cotton, we should plant peas or peanuts so that they will enrich the soil again. Now once the soil is enriched and again the cultivation of peas and peanuts are done, then again we should cultivate cotton. So that means whatever loss is happening due to cotton, it is covered up by peanuts and peas. So they become a good pair for crop rotation. So first you grow this crop and then you grow the other crop, because it has some additional advantages. So this is crop rotation. So these are the three ways by which we can do cropping in a better manner. That is mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more videos, attempt free online test, get free study material, find tutors and mentors. Thank you once again.